This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast, coming to you with producer Seth and Jordan. Phill is out with mono or something. I don't know, but on today's episode, we have our Week 5 preview predictions and close out the show with a professional Diva draft. So a little empty in the house here tonight, and the dude den. It's still hot as always, though. It's kind of weird looking to my right. I have Jordan here. Do we call this the dunce corner, Jordan? Or I don't know what this is, but you doing okay this week, Jordan? You ready for some picks and everything?
Yeah, other than getting demoted to the this other corner on this side.
This is kind of like band where there's like second and third chair.
Yeah, I got in the third chair today.
Yeah, you're in
somehow,
third chair. Yeah.
Somehow there's two of us, and I got demoted. I don't know how that works, but yeah, is this like Phil's 5th time having mono this year?
I don't know. I think he's actually like I think it's his daughter's birthday for what it's worth. So happy birthday. I don't know what they were doing. Guess they didn't need a guy to hold the piñata rope this year. So my invite must got lost in the mail. Producer Seth, how we doing back there behind the mic?
Always good. I'm glad that Phil's not here.
Phill is gone, but he will be missed. You know, he's in our hearts and thoughts. So thank you all for tuning in, though. We have it's Week 5 already, right?
Yeah, it's Week 5.
Week 5. So we got bye weeks next week, right?
I think we do have bye week starting next week.
So
Week 6.
Yeah, the running back and the tight end market is about to get really thin. So
yeah, I've been loading up on all those running backs on the waiver wire.
Well, Jordan, I've even had a couple like wide receivers I've thought about dropping. You know, like I have Gabriel Davis and I have Drake London.
You can't drop those.
You can't drop those two, but it's kind of like on CeeDee Lamb's bye or Devontae Adams' bye. It's nice having one of those guys because I can only play 3 of those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So unless someone wants to trade or something. But anyways, today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is DFS made easy. You pick 2 to 5 players and over-under in their projection, and you can win up to 10 times the entry. Insert promo codes DUDES, and they will match you up to $100. Really helps your favorite dudes out. Jordan, you have a couple Prize Pick plays that people can play on Thursday night football or Sunday night football. You know, just
Yeah, I don't have any for the Thursday or Sunday night game, but I got one London game, and then I got 2 on the Sunday slate. 2 weeks ago I had a really good Prize Picks day. Last week wasn't so great. We're gonna bounce back this week. I feel like now I did get some lines early that I can't give out because there's lines moved, right? That
Yeah.
Tuesday night is really you can get some good stuff. Like
we almost should tweet those out or put them
yeah,
on the
we
Discord
should, like
on those nights.
I need to do a better job of that. But I got Devin Singletary at over 40.5 rushing yards, and now he's at like 51.5.
Oh, wow.
So it's moved 11 yards. But anyways, I got 3 plays. One is in the London game with Romeo Dubs at over 45.5 receiving yards. I just think that's too low. I think this is I think he's going to be quickly Aaron Rodgers' favorite new target. And if he catches that touchdown, his box score from last week looks a lot better yards-wise. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to keep trusting him. He played 94% of snaps or something crazy like that. So he's entrenched there. And then my second play is Christian Kirk over 57.5 receiving yards. Actually, you know what? I can't give out the Christian Kirk one. That one did move 5 yards. But I think it's at 62.5. I think there still might be some value in it. Next one is CeeDee Lamb over 65.5 receiving yards. That one's actually gone down a yard. I don't love that because it kind of scares me a little bit. But also, like, CeeDee, like, he's just – and, Trent, you think Dak's not playing this week?
Dak's not playing. I heard the soonest they think Dak will be back is Philadelphia, but I still – originally they said 6 to 8 weeks. Then they were saying 4 to 6 weeks. I really don't know. I think at this point – just get ready, get healthy, and come back.
Yeah, so that just
There's no need to rush.
It makes me like the line even more because Cooper Rush is just peppering CeeDee the whole time. He's getting the ball out quick, not making mistakes. CeeDee looks like his guy. So I'm very happy with that line. I think that line is too low. And then my last one is Drake London over 52.5 receiving yards. I just think we'll get a Drake London bounce back game. I had this play last week and it didn't work out, but I think we go right back to it. This Tampa is more of has a really high total, and we'll get in this game more later. But I just think London's going to have a lot of opportunities to hit those receiving yard mark.
I almost had a really nice Prize Picks play on Monday Night Football. I was I picked Matt Stafford 1.5 touchdown passes was my over, and I don't think he threw one.
Well, I mean, the Rams are bad.
They look really bad. Yeah, it's not.
It's
Pretty.
a little scary for everyone outside of Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee there.
Yeah, like absolutely keep firing Cooper Kupp up, but other than that, I think you just stay away. But
Higbee did have 10 targets.
No, I think Higbee is your classic PPR volume guy. He can't move. He can't run after the catch, but he's going to catch those balls.
can we drop Allen Robinson?
I think you can.
I've seen quite a few guys in my leagues drop him.
So I dropped Allen Robinson for Romeo Dubs.
I like that.
And yeah, he's still on the waiver wire in that league. So like, no one has been like.
Well, I mean, Stafford's not throwing to anybody, and like
his elbow's messed up.
Their line is so bad that Cooper Kupp's his guy, and the crazy thing with Cooper Kupp is he's open no matter what. So, I mean, I wouldn't blame Stafford for not wanting to throw to Kupp either.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. But before we get into these picks, this Week 5 preview, Phill did send in his picks, so we can thank him for that. We can go, opposite of him or whatever. He's doing pretty good on his picks, actually. But whether you hate the people in your life or love them, you should tell them about the dudes. We bring people together. The highest compliment our dudes can give us is a referral of their family and friends. Just remember, don't be rude. Tell a dude. Share our website, www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And, just share it. Just if you enjoy us whispering in your ears, just share us with a friend. So we got Thursday night football, and we have the Colts going to Denver, and it is a 42. The line is 42, and Denver is favored by 3.5 points. I am not used to reading these lines. Phill is actually, I think, he's gotten good at it, So
I think the correct phrasing is the total is 40.
The total, yes. So let me write that down, the total.
Do you want to go over the picks from last week?
Yeah, let's go over those.
So I went 9-7. Trent, you went 10-6. Phil went 11-5, and Seth went 10-6. So honestly, a pretty good week for all of us. Everyone over 500. Phil's the winner at 11-5. I came in last 9-7. So
has anyone ever done better than 11-5?
Not this year. I don't think.
Wait, was my week 1 better than that?
I
Your
think he
week
might have
1
tied
was
it.
11-5.
Oh, it was 11-5 week 1. Okay.
So
I think that's the best
overall
ever.
we are at 30. I am at 34-30. Trent, you are at 29-35. Phil is at 32-32. Phil had a really bad first 2 weeks and has come back with a really good last 2 weeks.
I had a really bad week 3.
Yes. And then Seth is at 35-29. So Seth is 1 game up on me. And then Phil is in third. And then Trent, you are in last place.
Minor setback for a major comeback is what I always like to say. But we have no Jonathan Taylor in this game. So that's should be news to no one. If that's news to you and you play fantasy football, you maybe need to get out from underneath that rock you're living under. But I actually have a sit in this, and Jonathan Taylor not being there makes me not feel quite as good about it. But Michael Pittman, I'm having him as my, pump the brakes, let's wait and see, sit of the week. I do not want to play Michael Pittman. I know, no Taylor, he's going to get the ball. I think Matt Ryan kind of trusts Alec Pierce more. And I think he's going to start getting the ball more and more. It might take till the bye week, but Pittman is my sit, and I just think they're going to put Surtain on him, and it's going to be a tough matchup, and maybe he gets there in garbage time. But the Colts look really bad. They are 1-2-1. So, yeah, my sit is Michael Pittman.
It's a bold sit for sure.
It's pretty bold. It's bold. Especially without Taylor.
Yeah, especially without Taylor. I think on the Broncos, I think on the Colts side, the only people you're playing in fantasy is Michael Pittman and Nyheim Hines. I think Hines is playable.
He's playable. He's never done crazy good when he's the guy. All of his best games have been when it's Jonathan Taylor's still there.
I will say though, this game sets up well. I personally don't think that. I think this Broncos defense is really good. And so if they're getting to Matt Ryan, dump offs, right? So this could be dump off season for Nyheim Hines, which is what he's really good at. I like Hines here. I think it sets up well for him. I think it's kind of a perfect game. And then Michael Pittman, Michael Pittman I think is startable. But I get what you're saying with the sit.
There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than starting off a Thursday though, already behind the 8 ball.
I will say this though: if you don't like Michael Pittman, you should like Nyheim Hines.
Yeah.
Because who are they going to throw to?
I just don't trust it. I feel like it's going to be some tight end over there, and I don't know which
Well, they got Mo Ali Cox,
yeah.
they got Kyler Granson. They got Jelani Woods, who's had a couple of touchdowns. So it is tight end roulette over there. I think on the Broncos side, you're playing Cortland's side, and I think he's going to have a big game here.
Wilson looks pretty good. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't say he looks good.
He started
Looks okay.
He started running. What I meant to say, he started running more last week, and it opened stuff up for him. I think he needs to be more mobile, and he's 93% rostered, which is actually really low for Russell Wilson for what it's worth. For in his career, he's normally what 99.
Oh, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? Like 93 is still high, but he's QB 14 on the season.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played well at all this year.
No.
And I think Melvin Gordon is very startable. I think if you have Melvin Gordon, you're kind of this is the spot you probably drafted Melvin Gordon for, right? So,
What about Mike Boone?
I know there was some coach speak today, and I just saw some mention of it. I haven't seen the actual quote about Melvin Gordon and how they wanted him to be the guy. So I'm not 100%. I have to look that up, but I saw that somewhere. I don't know. Like I think Mike Boone feels a little bit.
If Gordon fumbles or something again, maybe Boone gets.
They also signed Latavius Murray off the practice squad, and Latavius Murray looked good last week for the Saints in London. Mm-hmm. So there's just a lot of things that worry me about Boone. Man, Melvin Gordon's only 29 years old.
Yeah, but that's like 45 in running back years.
Sure. But yeah, I kind of think. I just think if you drafted Melvin Gordon, you kind of drafted him for this spot, right?
Yeah, so you're playing him if you have him.
I mean, this is like the best case scenario of what you thought when you drafted Melvin Gordon.
And the Colts defense, I thought, would be okay. They have not played great.
Well, Darius Leonard, is he playing? He does make a big difference,
and
right?
Shaq, I don't think is playing. What's his name?
Shaq.
I thought there was a Shaq guy.
Oh yeah, Shaquille. It's Shaq Leonard. Is Darius
Shaq Leonard?
Shaq Leonard. Oh, it's Darius Shaquille Leonard. He's confusing me. It used to be Darius Leonard, and now apparently
He goes by Shaq.
He's
Yeah.
Shaquille Leonard now.
I'd go by Shaq if that was my middle name. Seth,
Probably
you
going
go
the
by
same
Shaq?
person here.
That'd be pretty cool.
Leonard is ruled out, so I think that's a big hit to their defense is way better when he plays.
I'm glad you pointed it out to me because I've been thinking those are two different people for like the past
You
week.
really confused me right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go on this game. I'm going to say Broncos win this one at home unless there's something else you want to add.
I agree.
I'm going Broncos as well.
I think the Colts might be one of the worst teams in football.
Does anyone want to guess who Phill picked?
I'm saying Phil picked the Colts.
I looked already, so I cheated.
Yeah, Phill picked the Colts. So is Phill the only guy going Colts tonight? So
I think so.
I hope he's wrong. So our next game here, set your alarms and pour some coffee. We're going across the pond for the first game on Sunday. We have Giants. I guess the Packers are hosting the Giants. Is that the right way to say it? On paper, that's what it is. But
That's what it is on paper.
out of country game. But the total is 41 points, and Green Bay is favored by 8, which is maybe that's a lot. That seems like
That's a lot for both
yeah.
teams who are 3-1.
Is it 8 now? It used to be. It was 9.5 earlier in the week.
Yeah,
so it's
it
gone
was-
down a little bit.
So it opened up at 7.5. It's 8 now, and you said it was at 9.
Yeah, it was at 9.5 last night.
But the Giants have no quarterback.
yeah, who's playing? Is it Jake Fromm?
They signed Jake Fromm, or they worked him out. So they don't have Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor's not playing. Well, you look up the quarterback there. I have Romeo Dubs. It's Dubs, right? It's not Dobbs.
Dubs.
I always want to say Dobbs. But Dubs. And he's getting, Aaron Rodgers is slowly trusting him more and more. He dropped a touchdown pass last week. That was almost, actually, Des Bryant said it looked a lot like his catch that was called a drop when he was in Green Bay. So kind of similar there. So he basically almost caught it. The ball did roll out. So I think Dubs is going to be a really good player. I didn't spend any fab on him a couple weeks ago, but play this guy. I think he is going to be the wide receiver number 1 when the whole season's done, and you got a primetime game where he can show it off. But again, set your alarms just in case he doesn't play. That was a big topic of discussion about Alvin Kamara not playing in London this past week. Are you finding out the Giants
Yeah, so
quarterback?
it looks like Daniel Jones may play after all.
Oh, he might play.
He practiced today, so it looks like he might play. I think they kind of need him to play. It does worry about how mobile. Like, Daniel Jones, one of the things he is good at, right?
Well, they don't have any receivers either, Jordan.
Yeah, who'd they play last week at receiver? David Sills, I know, was their most played. He played 70% of snaps last week. Richie James only played 35%. He was really popular in DFS last week. Darius Slayton rose from the dead and played 61% of snaps. So, but I don't know if Wan'Dale Robinson's playing or Kadarius Toney.
What do we think of? Yeah, I don't think Toney is. Last I heard, like last year when he played, he was doing double-digit numbers every
Kadarius
game
Toney
he played.
did return to practice today.
Okay.
So positive signs on him.
I think those guys who are hurt, it's almost like just keep them at home and let them get healthy. They don't need to go to.
Wan'Dale Robinson limited in return to practice, so we'll see on those guys. But, yeah, is there like who?
I'd play Tanyan. I think Tanyan's getting better every week. Like that. Tanyan, I think, will finish as a top 10 tight end as the year goes on.
So if you like Tanyan and you like Dubs, does that make you not like Allen Lazard? It's a low total, right? We're talking about a 41.5 total. I know there's probably a decent-sized Packers team total because the spread's so much, but
I don't hate any one of the Packers pass catchers in this game. Look at what Cooper Rush did to this Giants defense throwing the ball. I think Aaron Rodgers could.
It's also a good matchup for Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
Yeah,
it's a good matchup.
It's a good get-right game
for the Packers. I just the total worries me when we're saying you can start 6 guys in this game on one team, but because I feel like one of Dubs, Lazard, and Tanyan is not going to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's Dubs. I think it's one of Tanyan and Lazard. So I don't know, though. It's close. On the Giants side, we're just Saquon and be done, right?
I think it's Saquon to be done.
Because even Jones in a super flex scares me because if he can't run the ball, what else does he provide?
No, I only like Jones because of his running ability.
Exactly.
When he can't run, I don't want him.
And I'm just going to assume they're pushing him on this week because Tyrod Taylor. If Tyrod Taylor was healthy, I don't think they'd be pushing Jones to play.
I don't know if there's anything else we need to jump in here. Maybe if you want to stream Packers defense, I doubt they're available. Phill has Packers winning this game. I'm going to go Packers. Is anyone going Giants?
Nope.
Packers.
All right, Packers all the way across. Team Cheeseheads over here in the dude den. Finally, it's still a little warm.
Still a little warm?
A little warm, yeah.
It's hotter. It's hot in here. It's hot. And I don't usually complain about it.
Hottest pod in America.
I will say, I think it is hotter in this chair than the other chair.
So Phill sits in the hot seat?
He sits in the hot seat, I think, every week.
He'll probably agree with you. But before we get this next game, give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at TFF Dudes. It really helps us out. We have some fun on there. We throw some, barbecue pics, all kinds of stuff. Give us a follow. We throw some clips on there. Or follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We appreciate that thumbs up. The link to YouTube is in the show notes. So we have the Steelers at the Buffalo Bills, and the total is 46.5, and Buffalo is favored by 14. This is, I think, our most lopsided game of the week. Kenny Pickett's the starting quarterback.
Yep, Pickett starting.
All right, Pickett fence. Jordan, you have a start and a sit in this game. Do you want to go with your sit and then your start?
Yeah, let's do that. I don't love really having to start and sit in the same game. Honestly, I didn't realize it until 5 minutes ago when I looked at this. Looked at Trent had it there in the notes, but it's just how it worked out this week. So my sit is Deontay Johnson, and there's a couple reasons here. The Bills are one of the toughest matchups for passing games. They're the best, they have allowed the least passing yards through 4 weeks, and they are the third in fantasy points to wide receivers allowed, as far as third least fantasy points allowed to wide receivers. And I get, in theory, usually these are receivers you want to target in this spot, in a 14-point. They're a 14-point underdog. In theory, they're going to be passing a lot, but it's a bad matchup, and I just think it's a tough spot with Kenny Pickett here. I think I really like Deontay Johnson. He was my guy all last year because Big Ben would just throw these 5-yard routes to him, 5-yard targets, just pepper him with these targets, which led to a ton of fantasy points. We saw last week, Deontay Johnson had 2 targets after having the first 3 weeks of double-digit targets. Kenny Pickett is not good for Deontay Johnson. And in a really bad matchup against his defense, it just scares me. It scares me that Pickett's going to just chuck the ball, and Deontay does not do well with a chucker. He needs a check down guy.
Yeah, what about Pickens? Do you like the Pickens?
Oh, yeah. I like that. And I think that we're going to see the rise of Pickens and the downfall of definitely Chase Claypool, but even more of Deontay Johnson, sadly. I think there's weeks where he's going to be playable. I do not think this is one of those weeks, though.
All right. And then your start?
I'm My start is Devin Singletary. Buffalo for the same reasons I like. Buffalo's a 14-point favorite. Like Pittsburgh's giving up the 9th most rushing yards to running backs and the 9th most fantasy points to running backs through 4 weeks. Singletary saw a season high 88% snaps last week, and honestly has been involved in the pass game. He had a huge passing game, receiving week in week 3 against the Dolphins, and last week he came back with like 4 receptions for 45 yards. So I think he has like a touchdown here, 15 carries, maybe 60, 70, 65 yards. I think he's very playable as an RB2 this week. And the only worry I have is that they get up and they don't use him. But after 2 weeks of him playing 70 and 80% snaps, I just feel like they're just going to use him. He's their best running back. They want to use him, I think.
The James Cook truthers are very quiet right now.
And I think there's going to be a game where James Cook has a game. I just don't know. And I don't know. Maybe but I just think Singletary, it's such a good matchup for him. I think he could get it done in the first half or in the first 3 quarters.
You're playing Allen. You're playing. What about Gabe Davis? Can we play him now? We wait. I think he's kind of in that wait and see. I thought about making him my sit of the week, but I thought it was too obvious.
Yeah, I kind of thought about Gabe Davis here too. It's just weird. It's a weird good matchup, and I don't like sitting guys in good matchups. But how much do they really push Josh Allen here? That's kind of where I'm at with this. In a 14-point game, assuming they get up, obviously anything could ever happen. But one thing we got to keep our eye on here is Crowder's done for the year, I think.
Yes, I think so.
And McKenzie's in concussion protocol. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his status is there. Obviously, you're probably not playing Khalil Shakir in season long, but could be a very good DFS value this week. I think guys DFS wise I like is Shakir and Pickens and Singletary in this game.
Alrighty.
Obviously Josh Allen too, but
yeah, just a tough defense for Pickett's first start. I'm gonna go Bills win this game, and Phill has. Where is it? I think Phill missed this one. Should we just give him?
It would be very on brand for him to pick Pittsburgh, but he'll take Buffalo. I'm very positive.
Buffalo. Okay. All right.
I got Buffalo. Seth.
Buffalo.
Alrighty. All right. Our next game we got here, we have the Los Angeles Chargers going to the Cleveland Browns, and the total is 47.5, and LA is favored by 2.5 points right now. Jordan, can we trust Austin Eckler to get it done again? The thing that worries me about this Chargers offense is they lost Slater for the season. So that's going.
They lost him against Jacksonville in week 3, though.
Yeah.
They didn't have him last week.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes it better for Eckler unless they start throwing him the ball more, which
they did.
No Keenan Allen still.
Nope.
That's what it's looking like.
I think it's a really good spot for Eckler. We saw the Falcons run all over the Browns last week with Caleb Huntley, Tyler Algier. I think they might have had 200 yards rushing last week against the Browns. So I think they did for sure. I think Patterson had a big day, and Algier almost had 100 yards. So I like the spot for Eckler again. Obviously, you're playing Mike Williams. You're playing Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I don't know what to do about Amari Cooper.
I don't know what to do about Amari Cooper either. I made him my start of the week last year, and he made me pay for that. So I think you probably – how are the Chargers versus the Pass? They're not terrible. They're pretty good, aren't they? They did lose Bosa, which hurts.
J.C. Jackson came back, and I think that might have made a difference last week.
That's what I was thinking. So if you have somebody better than Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper has that, boomer. He's the ultimate feast or famine wide receiver, right? So he might get you.
He's a weird feast or famine.
He's not a feast type anymore.
Because he'll have 10 catches for 90 yards, and the next week have 2 catches, and it's just very weird to me. I think you can. I think he's kind of that fringe guy where it's if you need to, you can start him. If you have better options, I think there might be some better options out there. But I think it's a very cut and dry game.
Okay. Actually, Phill does have Bills on here, but his teams are not in the order of our list, so I might just have to dig around a little bit. So my apologies. You're playing Gerald Everett, David Njoku. Maybe tight ends are always a little tricky on what you really want to do. I'm going to say, is there anything else we want to add to this game? Herbert hopefully gets back to his Herbert ways,
He looked good last week.
Yeah.
I think he was fine last week.
So I just feel like that's one of those things that might be a week to week where we just don't know what to expect of Justin Herbert, really. You don't feel as good about Justin Herbert this year as you did last year, for sure. I'm saying Chargers win this game. It would not surprise me if Chargers found a way to lose it, though, because that's just Chargers fashion, right? Anyone not going with the Chargers?
Yeah, I got Chargers.
Alrighty. Phil has Chargers also. Seth, you got Chargers?
Yep.
Alrighty, let's head on to our next one here. So, before we get to our next one, go ahead and sign up for our Dudes Letter, the only fantasy newsletter that has a nice waiver wire email on Tuesdays. And we have the Fantasy Dad on Thursdays. That's a real nice article where he gives, 4 players he likes at each position. It's just a nice little run view to kick off Thursday Night Football, I'd say. So, go ahead and give Fantasy Dad a shout out or give him a follow on Twitter. Read that article. Check it out. He does a really good job for us. If you like this podcast, you'll like that email. So we have the Texans at Jordan's Jaguars. The total is 43.5, and Jacksonville is favored by 7, and the Texans are still without a win. Anyone? I think
They will continue to be without a winner for this week.
this is a good. If Trevor Lawrence got dropped on your waiver wire, I think this is a good bounce back game for him. He just had a rough game against the Eagles.
I think it's a really good bounce back game for the running backs.
Maybe a
Jacksonville. for
that-
Robinson and ETN.
Yeah.
This could be the game where we see
Breakout
ETN
I thought
bust
about that.
off a big run here or a big catch. And I like Jackson. I like all the Jaguars. I like Robinson. I think Robinson for sure you're starting. ETN, you just hate to miss that big game from him. But again, I don't know if you can keep playing him. Christian Kirk, I think you're just a start. I think Christian Kirk is entrenched himself in a must-start territory every single week.
How is he so much better with the Jaguars than Arizona? You think there's just too many guys there?
I mean, Kyler Murray sucks at being a quarterback.
Maybe it's more of a Lincoln Riley thing.
Maybe.
Just
I just don't think
doesn't
Kyler Murray's
like a
very
system.
I think Kyler Murray's a very good fantasy quarterback, but I don't think he's a very good actual quarterback who's good at throwing the football. The Jaguars are just using him in ways that the Cardinals weren't.
For what it's worth, Etienne was 51% snaps last week against the Texans.
They were down. It was a weird game script. They've talked about how Robinson, they need to get him more involved this week. He only had 8 carries. Brandon Cooks, I think you can start in this game. And Damian Pierce, I think, is all.
Yeah, I'm excited for Damian Pierce. He's finally looking pretty good. I don't know if this is a great matchup.
The Jaguars got ran all over last week by Miles Sanders. I know that game was a little weird. They had been really good against the run, and they had Miles Sanders had a career day against them. So I think that they're somewhere in between. They had their defensive tackle.
They're above average against the run.
Their run stopping defensive tackle got hurt in last week's game. So if he can't play, that would be a big loss. And I think that would upgrade Pierce a little bit. Miles Sanders started running all over them when they lost their D tackle.
Anything else on here? Brandon Cooks, I guess you probably have to if you have him. I'm going to say Jaguars win this game.
Is this the biggest, the most Jaguars have been favored in a long time?
Seth, just give us why we need to play Davis Mills right now. Just
channel your inner Phill.
Do I need to come from the dunce corner? You need to play Davis Mills because Phil says to.
Yeah, Phil will appreciate that. I know he just did a little fist bump and point to the sky hearing that.
I'm obviously the Jaguars. Trent, you're the Jaguars?
Jags on
Seth?
the cross.
Yeah, Jags.
Phil took the Jags?
Let me see what Phil's got here. Phil's got Jags.
There we go. That a boy, Phil.
Bunch of cats in here.
Hey, that's
baby.
probably the first time all 4 of us, or maybe 3 of you at the time, have all picked Jags in a week.
It's very possible.
That's true.
Very possible. All right, next game, we have the Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. The total is 44. Minnesota is favored by 7.5. Are you ready to trust Darnell Mooney, Jordan? Can we plug him in lineups? He had a nice game last week.
I kind of forgot Darnell Mooney existed.
Yeah, he's been an ultimate, he was one of those, wide receiver sleepers everybody loved, and it just has not worked
Did
at all.
Justin Fields throw the ball more than 8 times last week?
Well,
I'll be honest, that was a game that I did not pay much attention to.
Well, Darnell Mooney had 1 catch for 55 yards. He finished with 94. So I'm going to say no. You might get the Patrick Peterson treatment, which isn't the treatment it used to be, but he still has Justin Fields throwing him the ball. Is this I don't know what the status is on Montgomery. I'm guessing it's.
So
still a
I saw
Herbert game.
Montgomery still not practicing. Fields threw the ball 22 times. So we are
We are at
on the up.
JV throwing level now.
Yes.
So that's good.
I just think you're starting Herbert or Montgomery. Whichever one is starting, you're playing Herbert or Montgomery. I think I'd feel better if I knew that Montgomery was out and it was Herbert.
Can you play Madison again? I know.
No, I'm not.
I know Cook played last week, but Madison did get a touchdown. I think you can.
Yeah, I think you're just playing Cook.
Thielen looks like he's getting some targets again. I think it's just because Jefferson is so good. It's getting Thielen open. He's forced him to get the ball. That's a deep play though. I would say
Irv Smith is definitely entrenched as their number one tight end. I think he's a borderline tight end one.
Yeah, he's close.
For me, I just like the running backs in this game. Cook. The problem is it's like you have 4, right? And so that makes it a little more complicated. I think you're playing Herbert if Montgomery's out. That's the most confident. And obviously you're playing Justin Jefferson. But
all right, I'm going Vikings win this one. Anyone want to go with the Monsters of Midway?
I will probably pick against the Bears every single time, every single week.
All right. Phill has Vikings also. Seth?
Vikings.
All right. Give us a little VVVIK chant there, Seth. Don't really do it. Don't really do it. Oh,
Phil would have done that.
Phil would have done it. Yeah, he would have pumped it up. Yeah. Okay, we got Lions at. I must try to do this better. We have the Detroit Lions at the New England Patriots. The total is 45.5. New England is favored by 3. I want to stream against the Lions, but who do I stream when they have this quarterback? What's his name playing for the Patriots?
Is Zappy playing for sure?
I think Jones might have practiced, but Zappy didn't look bad for not playing,
So we got Mac Jones limited in practice, rookie Bailey Zappi in line to start. Gosh, these sports websites are the worst.
Yeah.
They just play commercials nonstop.
Yeah, we had another malfunction. Sure,
I'm trying to look up stuff for the pod, and the websites do not cooperate, or I forget to put my thing on mute. Looks like Bailey Zappi may start. And do you know much about Zappi, Trent? Do you know anything about Bailey Zappi?
I know he threw for a lot of yards in college, right?
Yeah, he played at Western Kentucky. Played at Houston Baptist before that. They sling the ball at Western Kentucky. They sling it all around. And
He throws the ball like 50 times a game there.
yeah, he's a gunslinger. And let's be honest, this Detroit defense just made Geno Smith look like Peyton Manning in his prime. Like,
are you willing to throw this guy on any DFS lineups or anything? Okay, because he's probably super cheap, right?
So my issue with that is
should Mac Jones be scared?
Probably not. I actually am bummed Mac Jones isn't playing this game because I would actually feel really good about Mac Jones in this game. Where it's like Zappy, it's like, I don't know. It's just, I think he's capable and he looks okay and he's going to sling the ball. And it's no better matchup for Zappy than this matchup. It's really going to test our, Detroit defense. How bad are they?
Can you stream Detroit's defense? Is anyone willing to do that? I'll tell you what.
So
Heck
bad.
no. They allow 35.3 points per game.
They're so bad.
They're terrible.
I have an independent defense league, and I drafted their middle linebacker late, and he's been tearing it up for me. But he's on the field way too much.
The safety might be the best. But anyways, we don't need to talk about individual defense players, Trent. Yeah, I mean, you might be my diva for playing in a league with individual defense players.
Hate on the Detroit Lions, but there's some little diamonds in the rough out there on the defense for IDP players. Just saying.
Anyways, you asked about DFS. I think Zappy's in play of starting just because he's so cheap. But who do you play him with? That's the problem. Who do you stack him with? I have no idea. I think it's really more like secondary stacks in this game. I think the running backs are interesting. I think Ramondre and Damian Harris are very interesting here. It's a great matchup for running backs.
Do you feel good playing Goff against the Patriots? Do you think?
No, that is one thing I do not feel good
know.
about.
I have Goff, and I love Goff. He's been doing great for me, but I don't know, seems like Belichick just finds ways to mess with people.
You are playing, though, Jamal Williams if DeAndre Swift is out. You're playing T.J. Hawkinson if St. Brown's out. And I think you're borderline playing Josh Reynolds, but I saw Josh Reynolds didn't practice either today. So it's just a mess over there. A lot of injuries that we're unclear on what's going to happen, right?
In my waiver stash article, what is it, Jamison Williams?
Yeah, I think he's
coming back
definitely someone
soon,
that you
so
need to make sure you have your eye on.
If you got roster room, add Jameson because he was a freak in college, and just another wide receiver for Goff to throw the ball to. Not like he needs any more of those, but man, I don't know. This isn't a pick 'em? They actually have New England to win this game to figure out a way to do it. I'm going to say Detroit wins this game is what I'm going to go with, and I might play Goff. I'm between Goff and Bridgewater in my season long. Kind of leading Bridgewater. I'm not in love with either matchup at the moment.
The fact that New England could possibly start a rookie quarterback and it tells me how bad Vegas thinks this Detroit team is, and they're still favored starting a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
The fact that they're at home, I just think Belichick figures out a way to win this game. Like, he knows it's a game. He knows his team is bad, and he also knows that this is a winnable game for them. Yeah. He's going to figure out how to get it done.
A little revenge game for Patricia. He's probably the most hated guy in Detroit for what it's
You
worth.
are taking Detroit.
I'm taking Detroit.
I'm assuming Phill took Detroit.
Phill took the Lions. I'm starting to think Phil's a bigger Lions fan than a Seahawks fan.
I agree. Seth?
I'm taking the Lions here.
Are you a bigger Lions fan than a Seahawks fan?
Me, no.
Okay.
Man, this is the only game I have a chance to make up on Seth. So
yeah, I figured I'd take the opposite because then Jordan loses, I'm up too.
Yeah. Here's the deal with this: is once you get to the bye weeks, it actually does. It's a little harder to gain ground.
It is hard to gain ground.
It's actually a big deal. So next game we got the Seattle Seahawks going to the New Orleans Saints. The line is 46. New Orleans is favored by 5.5. Jameis Winston, I don't believe, practiced today, and Michael Thomas didn't practice either. So what they're saying is if Jameis doesn't practice, that Andy Dalton is favored against Geno Smith.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's
at home.
It's at home, so... Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I'm going to trust Vegas here. Like, that tells me what they think of the Seahawks as a team. So, decently high total, though. Because that Seahawks team is so bad.
It's a really good matchup.
I mean, minus. Like, what did you have there? What's the current? Sorry,
the current total. Man, where's
current spread? What's the current spread?
I believe it was. Man, just tell people to hit rewind in their car. No,
I can't hit rewind right now though.
I can't find it. It's 5.5.
Okay, so yeah, 5.5 is a good number. Like it's. They clearly believe in the Saints team is a lot better than Seahawks.
This is the best matchup for a quarterback on paper.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know.
It's the Lions and the Seahawks.
Are you willing to stream Andy Dalton? Should we make him stream of the week? Are you willing to put that out there?
I don't know if I can do that. It's the same thing on DFS. It's fairly tempting.
I thought about making Olave my play of the week.
I think Olave isn't a great matchup. I think Olave is the best DFS play in this game. I think he's the best start in this game. I think this is a smash spot for Christian Olave, and I would love it even more if Jameis Winston was the play.
Should I just make it a smash so people can take him out of their lineup and just say, don't play Alvin Kamara, because then he won't play if I say don't play him?
Alvin Kamara this is a great matchup for Alvin Kamara.
It is, so hopefully he can play.
It's a great matchup. Like, this is the best matchup we might get for Alvin Kamara all year. Like, you kind of have to start Kamara.
Kamara said he's ready to roll versus Seattle in week 5.
Yeah, he's super cheap in DFS too. So like I might have like Kamara, Olave, and then you get like one of the Lockett or Metcalf, like or Penny. Like I think this game could be a sneaky like go over the total, but
it's just you trust Dalton to do it.
That's the problem. Like I would feel so much better if Jameis Winston was playing.
Yeah, and I think those bones in his back, that's no fun. Man, and Geno, how's this matchup for Geno?
It's not great.
It's not great. I'm going to say Saints win this game. But, man, Pete, I saw a meme on Twitter that said Pete Carroll wasted his prime on Russell Wilson.
I saw that. Actually made me laugh.
Yeah. Who are you going with, Seth? You going with the Seahawks?
I'm going the Saints.
Oh, you're going with the Saints.
I hope the Seahawks win and
There's
prove
no
me
way
wrong.
Seahawks win 2 games in a row.
I hope the Seahawks prove me wrong, and realistically, I think the Saints win.
On Phil's notes here, it says Seahawks, and there's a caw at the end. So that's
no
a
one's
nice
doing the
little
hot
touch there.
call for what
I'm
it's
not
worth.
doing the hot call for you, Phil. That's yours. You own it. You can come back and do that anytime you want. We love that. I'm going to say Saints. Everybody said Saints but Phil.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go Seahawks just in case, but it's like I don't want to take one for the team and then sacrifice myself. You know what I'm saying?
No, we have Phill to take one for the team.
No, I know, but then he gains one on us if he wins.
No, but he's in last place for a reason.
No, I'm in last place.
Trent's in
Oh,
last
never
place.
mind.
Last place.
Then-
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't take one for the team, but if you're looking for some extra fantasy football help from trades to waivers or just looking for a league, our Dude Nation Discord is the place for you. Link is in the show notes. Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins going to the New York Jets. The line is 45.5, and Miami is favored by 3. My stream of the week at quarterback is Teddy Bridgewater. I think he can play very well with Tyreek Hill, with Jalen Waddle. I think McDaniels is a great coach. Look what he did with Jimmy G last year. Bridgewater maybe a little comparable, but better weapons than what Jimmy G had. I know I said I didn't know who I felt better about, Goff or Bridgewater. I feel better about Bridgewater. I misspoke back there, so don't rewind it and go listen to that. Teddy B's my stream of the week. I will be playing him in leagues. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that. Jordan, what do you think about running back? We start in Mostert.
Yeah, so my favorite stat in this game when I was looking at it is Raheem Mostert played 72% snaps last week to Chase Edmonds 28%. Edmonds is higher owned on in fantasy, and his box scores look better because he's scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, he is.
But he's not going to consistently score touchdowns when he's playing 28% of snaps.
He missed a touchdown pass versus the Bengals.
Like,
for
I
what
think
it's
this is
worth.
a changing of the guard that people are not realizing. They're not seeing that he's playing so much. Mostert's gonna have a good game here. I really believe it. It's a good matchup.
Mostert's 65% rostered today, right?
And what
now,
is Edmonds?
Wednesday night? Edmonds has got to be.
He's like in the
70s.
80%. It makes no sense to me.
Edmonds is 86.
It just makes no sense. People are not recognizing it, and I think we're early on Mostert. So I'm gonna keep hammering that guy in DFS. I'm gonna keep playing him in DFS because he's gonna have a good week here pretty soon. He's still cheap. I think Waddle's in a great spot here. Tyreek's in a good spot. I agree with you on Bridgewater. I think he can get this. He can game manage his way to a good day here. And
Hill still had a good week against the Bengals.
yeah, he can throw the ball for 5-yard slants. Any of those two guys can house it. So Waddle's too cheap in DFS. I like this game. On the Jets side, I like second week in a row more snaps for Brees. And it seems like Brees is starting to take this job. So I like Brees Hall in your season long. I think you play him. I think you start him. I like him in DFS. I like a secondary sacks like Brees Hall and Jalen Waddle.
It's not a terrible spot for Brees Hall for what it's worth.
No, it's and we're seeing. I think we saw about Flacco threw for over 50 times in all 3 games. Zach Wilson threw for 39.
I also think you can stream Zach Wilson in this game. I know people don't love it. I think he has the weapons to do it. That he's might have to. This game could be a sneaky shootout.
I
would
just
not
have a hard
surprise
time
me.
trusting Zach Wilson.
I know. But this is a great matchup for a quarterback, the Miami Dolphins. But Wilson might throw a couple picks too, throwing picks and whatever it is they say about that guy. But anything else that we want?
What about Garrett Wilson? I guess it's kind of the same. I think you just play him.
You
He's too
play
talented.
him. You got to play him, and then
Corey Davis is a guy who actually has a really good connection with
I know
Zach Wilson. There's a lot of stuff going around about, Corey Davis is only good with Zach Wilson. So I don't know, but I just at the end of the day, I think Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore are their 2 best receivers there, and they're going to get them involved.
I'm going to look at what Davis is rostered right now.
It's low.
That might be if you have if you're undefeated or have 1 loss, that might be an interesting hold to hold Corey Davis this week and just see what he does. He had 15 fantasy points last week, and he is rostered 49%. So maybe a guy goes on IR Sunday morning, go plug in Corey Davis, pick him up, move that guy to IR, play Corey Davis, put Corey Davis on your bench. My apologies. I am going to say Dolphins win this game.
I'm going Miami.
Dolphins.
Phil took the Jets. I can almost already know.
I don't see Jets or no. He took Dolphins.
He's getting smarter.
Put Dolphins, and he put for Tua, whatever that means. So, anyways, next game we have.
Next time Phil does this, we got to make him give a sentence explanation for every pick.
Yeah, that's true, because he might just be drawing these out of a hat, knowing him. But next game we have Atlanta Falcons going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Have a little bit of trouble in paradise with the quarterback there in Tampa Bay. The total is 48 points, and Tampa Bay is favored by 8.5. Jordan, you have a start in this game.
Yeah, I really, really like this game. It's one of my favorite games on the week. One of my starts is Chris Godwin. The Falcons are allowing the 8th most passing yards allowing the 8th most passing yards this year, and allowing the 8th most fantasy points to wide receivers. Chris Godwin missed a couple weeks, came back and played 83% snaps. In his first game back, had 10 targets. So as long as Chris Godwin is healthy, and I hope he's healthy obviously all year because I really like Chris Godwin. I think he's an unbelievable talent. But Brady's gonna throw to him. He's back. He's playing a ton, and he missed a little bit with whatever injury. It looked like he came out for a little bit, came right back in. The Bucs have a team total of 28.5, and I think they have to pass in this spot. Like, they didn't really use – I know they were down a lot last week, but I think we're going to see Fournette's snaps starting to get tailed back a little bit. So I think this is a spot to play Godwin. If you have Godwin, you are probably playing him. And so I like Godwin a lot in this spot.
What about Algier? Can we play him? You feel confident? I don't like the matchup here. I know a lot of people spent fab on him, but can we play Tyler Algier against this stout Bucs?
I think you can. But here's my thing. I think Algier's a lot better playing a PPR because I think what's going to happen is I don't think Huntley, off the top of my head, Huntley is not a passing guy, a receiver. Algier is. Like, he is capable of catching passes, capable of breaking off a long one. I really think that, and for one, like, it's not like Tampa Bay defense looked great against CEH last week. So, and I know it's different game script, different game flow. I understand all that. But I think Algier is, I think he's a start. Especially if you're all that fab you paid. Like,
I dropped 35 on him.
Yeah, you're playing him. Like, you're just playing him.
Who did you have to replace, Seth?
Someone got hurt. My other running back's Joe Mixon, who got hurt. I have DeAndre Swift, who's hurt.
Okay, so you need a fill-in.
Yeah.
I just also I like Algier for DFS. He's pretty cheap. I like this game a lot for DFS. At this point, I think this is going to be my favorite. I think I'm going to stack Brady. Brady's pretty cheap. Like,
he's mad. He's playing,
the divorce narrative.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just think
he doesn't need any narrative.
He probably doesn't.
You know what I mean? Like, this could throw the whole league into a tailspin.
And like, look like he got in rhythm against the Chiefs.
Get Brady on the buy low right now, maybe.
I like you can play Brady with Evans and Godwin. Like, you know who to pair him up with. Algier on the way back or Drake London. Like, Drake London, I think. So why I like Drake London in this spot is just because they're gonna have to pass the ball, right? Like, it's not the greatest matchup in the world, but they're gonna have to. They are not gonna be able to run the ball like they did last week and win the game.
Say what you want about Kyle Pitts. It's gonna be hard for any tight end to have success when the quarterback only throws 19 times in a game. So versus New Orleans, Mariota threw 33 times. LA Rams, he threw 26. Seattle 20. Cleveland 19. So his pass attempts are going down each week, and they won when they beat the Browns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they will not
They
win
can't win,
like this.
yeah.
They're going to get down. I hope if they get down in this game, London and Algier, they're going to have some good games through the air.
Yeah. I saw a meme on Twitter again today that said, if Kyle Pitts does not play this Sunday, just put him in your lineup anyways. You're used to goose eggs. So got some shade going at Kyle Pitts.
If Kyle Pitts doesn't play, man, I like Drake London a lot.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Bucs win this game.
I got Tampa.
Buccaneers.
And Phill has... I should just start reading Phil's picks wrong and we put him in right just so he just pulls his hair out, wherever he is while we whisper into his ears. Phill has Bucs. Or does he? Okay, so yeah, Phill has Bucs. And then our next game here we got... Oh, boy. Got a little print mess up here. This might be a little difficult for me to read.
It's the Tennessee-Washington game.
Okay, we got the Tennessee Titans going to the Washington Commanders. The total is 42.5, and Tennessee is favored by 2.5. Thank you for that, Jordan. It's on two different sheets of paper. Our printer guy has to do a little bit better with that. Are we confident in any Washington Commanders pass catchers? Can we play Terry McLaurin? Jaheim Dotson kind of seems like a touchdown guy. I don't know if you feel great playing.
Jahan Dotson is not playing this week, I'm pretty sure.
He's not going to play.
I think he is out for a couple weeks.
And Curtis Samuel has beaten, I'm pretty sure in snap count, I think he's ahead of Terry McLaurin, and also like the amount of targets and yards too.
He's not ahead in snap count.
Not ahead in snap count.
McLaurin played like 99% of snaps last week. Samuel played 78%. McLaurin is running more routes than Samuel. Targets wise, yeah, Samuel's getting a little more targets every week, a little higher target share. But yeah, I don't think Dotson's playing. I think we get a McLaurin game here. It's a good matchup.
He's due, right?
It's actually like a really good matchup for the passing game. I don't really trust any of the guy. I don't trust Carson Wentz at all, but this is the spot where like McLaurin's gonna have a game.
You know
He's
who
gonna have a game.
This was almost my start of the week, but Robert Woods has a really good matchup here. I know you don't love Tannehill and stuff like that. Washington is not good against the pass. I think you can feel confident playing Robert Woods if you're in a pinch. And I bet that the LA Rams wish they had Robert Woods, actually.
Yeah, no Treylon Burks.
And no more Burks. So he's kind of the lone wolf over there. So I think Robert Woods is playable,
Also,
especially in this matchup.
we might see Brian Robinson in this game. He was activated. He practiced today for the first time. I obviously am very concerned about Antonio Gibson. I don't think you can play Robinson this week. I think he's someone just looking. That's a game where I think you want to watch him and see how he does. And obviously, you're playing Derrick Henry, right? Do you guys think Derrick Henry's passing thing is this real or is it fake? 6 and 5 targets back-to-back weeks. His snap count definitely went back down to 60% last week. He ran 7 routes. So basically, he got 5 targets on 7 routes. That doesn't seem sustainable to me.
Well, like what I just said, who else is Tannehill going to be throwing the ball to right now? Like he's kind of limited on options. Like it's Robert Woods, and I should know this. I don't know who those other pass
They
catchers
got
are.
Westbrook Akeen, Kyle Phillips, rookie out of UCLA.
Westbrook Akeen, I wouldn't remember that because I can't pronounce it. So, yeah, I think he's going to keep catching, maybe 3 passes a game. The screens seem to be working to him, but man, it'd be gutsy. But you can maybe even stream Tannehill in this game. I don't love it, but he's always has a game every once in a while where he has some rushing touchdowns. All right, I'm going to say Titans win this game.
I'm gonna go. Man.
Does it help you if I tell you who Phill picked?
Yeah, who'd Phill pick?
Phill picked the Titans.
Seth, what are you gonna do?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like Robert Woods might have a monster game, and I think Derrick Henry can probably run the ball on them. So I think I'm gonna go Titans too.
I'm gonna go Washington.
All right. Okay. Next, we have our afternoon. Was that last game afternoon?
That was the last game of the 1
morning,
p.m.
alrighty.
Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific window.
Alrighty, so we got our afternoon slate here. So we have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the Carolina Panthers. The total is 39 points. San Francisco's favored by 6.5. This could be a very weird game. The 49ers have not given up over 20 points yet this season. You have to play Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if you have to be excited about playing Christian McCaffrey. Baker Mayfield is on pace to absolutely destroy the record for most passes blocked at the line of scrimmage. Last year it was 12. I think last year was 15. He has 12 already on the season. So I don't know how Kyler Murray doesn't get blocked at the line of scrimmage. Baker seems to be getting blocked a lot, though. So that's a little problem they got there. At this point, I like Baker Mayfield as much as anyone. I would not be surprised if they give Darnold the chance, once he's healthy, unless things can really change drastically. DJ Moore finally got some targets, but they just got to figure out how to move the ball there.
I think this game is really simple. Like, I don't think we need to go
don't play anyone.
No, you're playing Jeff Wilson. You're playing Diva. You're playing CMC. I think you can play DJ Moore.
And you're probably forced to play Kittle because of where you got him.
And here's the deal with Kittle. And I've listened to some people's talk, so I don't want to take full credit for this, but it does make a lot of sense. What I've been hearing people say is that only play Kittle. Like, Kittle's gonna have the games when they're forced to have to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Because they are very content.
He's a
just-
great run blocker.
He's so good at blocking. They are very content to just have him sit there and block, and I think he enjoys it. He's playing a lot. He's playing the whole time, and so. But there's gonna be a couple of weeks, man, where they have to pass. They're gonna be forced into a game script where they have to pass. Team's gonna push them. It's not this week though, so I think that's when you're gonna look for the Kittle weeks. DFS, I just like Jeff Wilson quite a bit in this game.
Alrighty. I am going to say that the 49ers win this game. 49ers, defense looks good. It'll be interesting to see if we see them make another little run this year. I know we have a lot of listeners that are 49er fans, so 49er faithful. I'm going Niners win this one. Anyone going Panthers?
I got Niners.
Niners.
Phil has Niners with a sad face emoji for whatever reason. Okay, anyways, we got another game here. We have the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles going to the Arizona Cardinals. The total is 49 points. Philadelphia is favored by 5. Does this seem, well, I guess the Philadelphia has a good defense, but I feel like this line could be higher. Jordan, you have a sit in this game. Who do you got?
You mean the total or the spread? What do you think?
The total, I feel like
It's
could
at-
be
what is
higher.
it at
It's
right
at
now?
49.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent total. I think we see quite a bit of offense in this game. I think Philadelphia, for what it's worth, I think 5.5 is too low. It's probably because they're on the road, right?
Yeah.
If they're at home, they'd probably be like a 7.5. But I have a sit in this game. I have to sit James Conner. I think the Eagles are they're a top 10 run defense in both rushing yards and the top half. So they're top 10 defense when it comes to rushing yards allowed, and the top half fantasy points allowed to running backs. According to PFF, the Arizona offensive line has a minus 25% advantage in the run game against the Philly defensive line. So a huge disadvantage in the trenches there for the Arizona offensive line. And Connor, before Connor was playing like 75% of snaps, 80% of snaps. He was getting some of the passing down work. Connor's only playing 60% snaps the last 2 weeks. And they're splitting up those passing downs with like Eno Benjamin, Darrell Williams, James Conner. So that work that made him so secure, like he would catch those passes. I don't necessarily know if it's there anymore.
Yeah, Jordan, the more games that the NFL extends, the less we're going to see bell cow backs that go 80% snap.
Yeah, but
we're getting to the point, we're getting close to bye weeks. Guys are getting wore down, even like Leonard Fournette asking to not get as many carries, so he can play longer,
and he definitely did not play as much as he did.
He didn't get any goal line carries.
Yeah.
So
I just don't like Connor here in this spot. Like I think it's a tough game. I think the Cardinals get down quite a bit in this game. I think the Eagles put it on him here, and then
Murray's going to be forced to
throw.
And
And I just think they're going to play Eno Benjamin more.
If the Cardinals win, it will be on Murray's legs and just him playing backyard football. That would
I
be
don't
the only
see
reason.
how
that would
they
be the
win.
only reason
Like-
they won. Seth, do we know if this is a Call of Duty double points weekend? Because that makes a big difference.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
We brought you on this for this insider video game knowledge. Can you please get that?
I've been
Nightlife
playing
back?
a lot less, so I
Okay.
don't know. But
All right.
I mean, Kyler Murray has been pretty bad lately.
And,
So
I think you're obviously playing Jalen Hurts. It's a great spot for Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders. You're just playing all your Eagles. Eagles are the best.
This
team.
is the second week in a row that Kyler Murray's playing against a fellow Oklahoma quarterback.
Really, that's a good point.
If you consider Jalen Hurts an Oklahoma quarterback.
I think Marquise Brown is pretty solid. I think this week.
I think so. My only worry about James Conner is, Jordan, is I agree with everything you've said. Is just
He's gonna score like
in
3
the
touchdowns
history
this year.
of you sitting James Conner, he goes off and scores like 3 touchdowns. So
on like 12 yards.
like on no rushing yards,
he's gonna
he gets
get he's gonna get like 6 attempts. He's gonna have 2 touchdowns. He's gonna do like a CEH. He's
like
gonna
on
go
paper, if
CEH.
you minus the touchdown stat, he'll probably have a really bad game. But
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, he scored 9 times. So but I'm gonna go with the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles winning this game. As much as it hurts me to say that,
they're the best team in the NFC.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, like they aren't going to go undefeated, but yeah, they are. The best
Trent,
team.
have you seen the schedule? They might.
Yeah, but no one's gone undefeated. There's no way that they can go.
They're probably
undefeated.
going to lose to Dallas one time, and that might be it, to be honest. Their schedule's easy. It's an easy schedule.
Do they have an easier schedule than Dallas? Because going into the season, Dallas had the easiest schedule.
Well, Dallas
Dallas has already faced some adversity. I know.
I do think the AFC South is probably better than what they were given credit for to begin the year.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, I think the Jaguars. I still think the Jaguars can win the division. The Eagles just beat them. So I don't know. It's just
It's
Anyway,
the NFL.
I'm taking Philadelphia. I think. Are we all taking Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Phil has Eagles. All right, Phil has Eagles. Stay undefeated. 100 emoji. Please include the 100 emoji. So, all right, we will include that for you, Phil. Hope that gives you a nice little. Maybe Phil's just in his car, with his shirt off, beating his chest or something. That's what he always tells you to do, Jordan. Beat your chest.
That's
so
true. He
hope
does.
you're doing that, Phil. Anyways, we have the Dallas Cowboys going to the LA Rams, and the total is 43.5. And LA is favored by 5.5. And my only question is why am I not going to this game? I probably should be going to it.
Same
the reason
I
is
asked myself 2 weeks ago in the
reason is because I love all these listeners. That's why, and I got to come back and pod for you all. So, but yeah, I have a sit in this game. I have Zeke Elliott. I hate it. I don't like it. You probably have to play him wherever you're at. He's getting the snap. He's getting the snap percentage. He's getting the carries. I think he had 15 carries last week. It's just they're running him because they have to run the ball. I think the Cowboys will win this game, but I don't think it'll be on the legs of Zeke. And this might be the same thing, Jordan, where you had James Conner, where maybe he has a bad game, but he gets some rushing touchdowns. The Rams still do look decent against the run. Aaron Donald is still a top defensive player in the NFL. I think Dallas wins. They're going to do it through the air.
I like three guys in this game, and that's it.
I like Gallup, actually, for what it's worth. I think that could be a sneaky deep play. He scored a touchdown last week in his first game
maybe
back.
a deep play, but he only had like 3 targets. He didn't play like.
They're probably going to put Ramsey on Lamb the whole game, though, right? So maybe
I'm a big Jalen Ramsey guy. I just don't know how good he actually is. Like, I just don't think
he's lost a little bit.
I don't think he lost it. He doesn't shadow. Jalen Ramsey does not shadow. He stays on one side. And they're gonna move Lamb around, I'm sure.
Slot, whatever.
And there's 3 guys: Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, CeeDee Lamb. I think Tyler Higbee is getting enough volume to where he's a tight end 1. This line for the Rams is so bad. It is so bad.
It should be bigger, huh?
No. Okay, I meant the offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I also think that the spread is wrong. Like, the Rams, there's no world where the Rams should be a 5.5 point
After
favorite.
that 49ers.
There's no way. But
well, the Cowboys are there's only 2 defenses that haven't given up 20 points in a game. It's Dallas and San Francisco. They're the 2 best defenses.
Here's my thing. We have a really bad O-line with a Matthew Stafford who cannot move, and one of the best D-lines in the league, maybe if not the best, in Dallas.
Well, let's at least say pass rushing D-line.
Yeah, so like Stafford's going to just get the ball out to Higbee as a safety valve. He's going to pepper Cooper Kupp. I really like. I think we get a pick 6 here for Dallas. Dallas Stevens is super cheap in DFS. I might just block them. I just don't think that I am. The Rams are bad. That was one of my biggest takeaways from that Rams-Niners game. The Rams are bad.
Yeah, they're not good.
Their O-line is horrible. Stafford is going to throw a pick 6 in this game. This is a Diggs pick 6 game. Like, I wish I could bet Diggs to have a pick 6 because he's going to have a pick 6.
You probably need to play a prop. I'm sure they'll have Matthew Stafford interception prop.
Yes.
Maybe they won't, but I'm sure that.
But, like, this is a perfect Diggs to jump one of those. Stafford's getting pressured, throws one, Diggs jumps it, the house.
Yeah. Bobby Wagner does good at tackling, people who run on the field. Do you see that guy filed a police report today?
I did see that.
Which is bizarre to me.
Does that have any base behind it, though? Like
you're not allowed to go on the
he's
field.
trespassing. It's like...
Well, I'm like, it's not going to go anywhere.
No.
It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a tension deal. Maybe I don't know what will happen with it. Is there anything we need to point out in this game? I'm not excited for either Rams running back. The rest of the season.
I just like it's Kupp, Lamb, Higbee for me. Like I'm not. I don't see the need.
If you drafted Dalton Schultz, you probably have to play him. But I don't know how excited I am at this point.
I just feel like Cooper Rush really likes CD.
He really likes CD. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is I would like CD too.
Yeah. All right, I'm going Dallas wins this game. Anyone else have Dallas? Anyone got Rams?
I'm taking Dallas.
I'm taking Dallas too.
And it makes me nervous.
After picking the Rams last week, I'm not picking the Rams.
The line is weird though. Like I will say that,
it's a weird line.
5.5. Like I just don't get it. I think it's objectively wrong.
Maybe they think Dak's coming back. Maybe they don't. Maybe Vegas doesn't have a Cooper crush like we do.
What does Phill have?
Phill has Dallas.
That is very weird that we all picked the underdog.
All right. So we finally have a good Sunday night football game. We have the Cincinnati Bengals going to the Baltimore Ravens. The total is 48.5. It opened up at 52.5. Baltimore is favored by 3 points. I think this is going to be a fun one. Lamar versus Joe Burrow, going to be a good time. Hopefully some shootout. I have my start of the week. I have Devin Duvernay in this game. I don't think that at this moment, Bateman's playing, right? He's out. He's gonna have
is he out
yeah,
for sure?
I'm pretty sure he's out, or it's leaning that he is out. So I got Duvernay in there I think he's a touchdown in this one. So, I mean, just check anything's changed. And really, the bounce back game is going to be Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is going to smash in this game. He didn't have a good game last week. That doesn't happen 2 weeks in a row. So it's going to be Bateman's questionable right now. He did not practice because of his foot on Wednesday. Foot injuries can really hobble you up, literally. So I like Duvernay in this matchup. Lamar's just going to run around. He's going to find him, and I think he's going to have a good game, and I think Burrow's going to score points, so this is going to be a fun one. I'm excited for it.
The Ravens are the worst passing defense in the league. This is the spot for Jamar Chase. The Ravens give up the deep ball. This is the spot if there's ever been one. I think this is the Jamar Chase game. He gets unleashed, and I just think Burrow's we get deep ball, a couple deep shots to Chase. I really like Jamar Chase in the spot. I think the whole Bengals passing attack is really good. T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. Dobbins' snaps went up. I just saw he missed practice today, though, so that's not ideal.
I don't know what to do about that guy.
His
He's worrying
snaps
me.
did go up, and obviously Lamar and Andrews, and this is going to be a really fun showdown game in DFS, so I'm excited for that.
Okay. And then I heard someone told me a random stat on Twitter. The Twitterverse is one of my favorite places to go. But it said that Baltimore has only been trailing 14 seconds total this season. Have you seen that? They have 2 losses. Like their games are going. Their games, unless I just got fake news, which would not be the first time. But their games are just going down to the wire. So that was kind of a wild stat I heard there. But I'm going. Man, it's in Baltimore. I'm going to say Ravens win at home. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add to that.
I think this is a game that goes over the total. I just think Joe Burrow. I think this is the Jamar Chase game. Like I really think it's the Jamar Chase game.
Yeah, at some point they can't double team Jamar Chase the whole time and let T. Higgins just tear him apart.
The Ravens have given up. They're literally the worst. One of the worst passing defenses in football. Like they have given up. I'm trying to. 1,261 yards to quarterbacks. That's almost 100 yards more than it's the Ravens, then the Dolphins, and the Lions. It's just this smells like just a good old fashioned.
I'm glad we finally have a good Sunday night football.
We had one last Sunday.
Yeah, it was a good one, but a lot of people might have even turned it off because it wasn't good. It got good. So I'm going Ravens win this one at home.
I'm going Cincinnati.
Jordan's going Cincinnati. What are you doing, Seth? Can we just call you PS?
No.
Okay.
I think Lamar's going to win this game. Okay. I'm going Ravens.
Got the little Lamar figurine behind us.
What does good old Phill have over there?
Phill has Ravens, so you could go up on us.
I feel really confident the Bengals win this game.
All right.
We got Monday Night Football next.
We got Monday Night Football.
It's a good game. This will be a fun one. We got 2 back-to-back primetime games that I think are going to be really fun.
All righty. Yeah, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going to the Kansas City Chiefs. The total is 51. The line is Chiefs by 7. My apologies there. I feel like I think this is going to be a good game too. Like I'm excited about this one too. Like I think both teams will score points. You got a must win with Las Vegas. It's in Arrowhead though. It's tough to win games in Arrowhead. That's just a tough deal. Clyde Edwards-Helaire I think is a good play here.
Yeah, I kind of like everyone in this game.
Yeah, Clyde is getting like I think he has like the same amount of red zone targets for a running back Like he has more than the top running back did last year. So they're throwing him the ball in the red zone. I think it's just a familiar guy for Patrick Mahomes. Maybe it's time to sell Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but where you got him, it's
He's only
probably
playing 55% of snaps. We
Yeah.
saw a big increase for Isaiah Pacheco last week. Isaiah Pacheco looks good. I think he is their best running back. And I think they might know that too. And they're just going to ease him in. McKinnon saw a huge decrease in snaps last week. Man, the problem with the Chiefs are I don't know what to do about Juju. We saw his least amount of snaps played last week at 59%. I feel like they're starting. Sky Moore saw the most he's played at almost 30% snaps. They're just starting to spread these snaps around. No, MVS played the most at 69%. So it's hard. These Chiefs wide receiver snaps are getting spread out, and so it's just hard to know exactly what's happening with them. But I think I like Kelsey a lot here. I like Devontae. I think you can play Josh Jacobs, CEH, Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a fun game, I think.
Yeah, hopefully we finally have a Darren Waller game because he's really not doing that much better than Kyle Pitts. Like it's just nothing there. So I think they have to get him involved. I think it'll help everything. So how can the Raiders be worse with Devontae Adams? That's what doesn't make sense to me as a team. I feel like the defense. Yeah, I just really like watching Max Crosby play football. He's a lot of fun. Has a just Energizer bunny out there.
Yeah.
I think we kind of covered this here. Is Renfro still out?
I don't know. I have not. I think it's hard with the Monday game. I think a little bit information.
Might not want to wait for Renfro. Being a Monday night game. So
I wouldn't wait for Renfro. I think there's better options out there.
Could maybe play Mac Hollins in a deeper league if you have to. He seems to have some of Carr's trust. I'm gonna go Chiefs here.
I got Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs for sure.
My heart's telling me Raiders. My brain's telling me Chiefs.
What does Phill have?
Phill has Chiefs. And that's part of the thing is it'd be one I could go one up, but
it's so funny. That there's Phill would probably have different picks if he was here in person.
Oh yeah, he would have flip flopped 90% of these probably.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyways, that does it for our Week 5 preview. We do have our draft here, though. This is a lot of a fan favorite. We have our professional Diva draft. And before we get into this, Phil's not here. Seth's going to draft. Do these guys have to be current players? Do they have to be past players? How do you want to do
I think
this?
anything.
So we'll just do 3. Do we want to snake? Do we want to do, what's the other one called? Is it linear? Do we want to do linear? Is that better? Is linear better? Gives you a little bit more time to do a little bit of research. You don't have to go on the turn like we have been doing.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm good with whatever.
I actually won last week's draft, and Phill got second. Jordan, you took third, but you weren't expecting to win that one.
Forgive me. What was that? That was the as seen on TV.
As seen on TV.
Yeah.
And just for those who didn't see it, or need to be reminded, Phill had 41% of the votes. I had 54, and Jordan had 4.2.
Wow, yeah, I knew that was going to happen, though.
Yeah. Phill had Snuggie, Magic Bullet, Command Strips. I had Chia Pet, Flex Seal, Shake Weight. Jordan, you had Copperfit, Sham Wow, and Pillow Buddy, or Pillow Pad, the little iPad pillow.
Yeah.
What on this list made me win is what I want to know. Because people who vote on Twitter don't always listen to the show, So are there just a bunch of shake weight freaks out there that were like, hey, I want to vote for this guy, because it doesn't even have the names on there. It's Team A, Team B, Team C.
Yeah.
So I think if I'd have done the clapper, I might have got all of the votes. But anyways, we got our professional Diva draft. Seth, since you are here, you can't hold up, hold a finger behind your back and us guess it. Do you want to just go order of who won, and Phill can take Seth's spots there? Seth can take Phil's spot there. So it'd be me, Seth, Jordan. Then we just do linear, or do you want to do? We'll go linear. I think that's a little better.
Yeah, let's do linear.
Okay. So professional divas. So these are, I think they have to be sports players, though, right?
Yeah.
They can't be like Will Smith.
Any professional sport.
Any professional sport, yeah. So with the first pick here, man, he's had some headlines lately that
you gotta take this. Is an obvious.
I'm going Antonio Brown is number 1 diva. My 101. I'm
That's
going Antonio Brown. From recording John Gruden in his meeting to
Just laying in a pool, man.
That's one way to put
Like,
it.
what a weirdo,
yeah,
man.
total weirdo, man. Yeah, I one of those European pools. You know, I don't even know if it was a European.
Or him
pool.
posting a picture with Giselle, Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah, just took a picture with Giselle. Posted a picture with Giselle after the Super Bowl, hugging him. And Brady's done so much for Antonio Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of
It's just dirty.
It's dirty. Did he go live on Instagram in the middle of Mike Tomlin's halftime speech? Like he's done some weird stuff. And for what it's worth, he's always been weird. Like have you seen his college football picture?
Yeah, there's a reason why he was like a 5th round draft pick.
Yeah,
right?
like he has like the grill. Like it's amazing how fast him and Le'Veon Bell have fallen off the face of the earth in the NFL. You know, like both of those guys were number one, and those guys were both 1st round draft picks in fantasy football. You know, like they were unreal. And Antonio Brown, it's just all self-inflicted. He's for sure from all kinds of stuff.
He's cut from a weird cloth, man.
Yeah, I wish he'd have a cloth sometimes. But anyway, Seth, you're up. What do you got?
All right, I think this one's pretty easy. I think you either love or hate this guy. I got LeBron James.
LeBron. Yeah,
I just can't stand this guy. I mean, I don't watch very much basketball, but every time I see LeBron James, and I'm a Lakers fan, I still can't stand him. Every time I see him play, I just see him whining all the time.
I honestly liked LeBron when he first came to the league, when he was like, hey, you know, like the new like Michael Jordan. Like I remember I watched his first game on ESPN, you know, I think when he played Carmelo Anthony. Maybe it wasn't his first game, but just how he left Cleveland just has always rubbed me the wrong way. You know, that's your hometown, and he did it to him twice. He did bring him a championship, but yeah, I think LeBron's a fair, you know, I think that's a good diva, and I think there's...
And that's what I'm saying. Probably 50% of, like, basketball lovers love him, and then the other 50% probably hate him.
Jordan,
I mean, Jordan can probably attest to that, but...
What's your take on LeBron, Jordan? Because you are a Lakers fan. You're the biggest Kobe Bryant fan I know. And you used to argue about Kobe versus LeBron, and then LeBron went to the Lakers. So you've been kind of quiet about LeBron the past 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I was a LeBron hater for a long time, but then, you know, he joins the Lakers, and he's one of us. So
Is he the best ever, though?
No, Michael Jordan's the
okay,
best
right.
ever.
All right. So, and then is he better than Kobe?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That actually,
How dare you?
that
Doesn't mean I like him more than Kobe, but
Okay.
he's a better, you know?
Okay.
It happened. It is what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, Jordan, you're on the clock, and I'm actually kind of interested on who your professional diva is.
Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. Like, I can go a lot of different ways here. Man, there's some good... I'm struggling because, you know, I want to get this one right. You know, I feel like you guys had some good... kind of slam dunk. I think, Trent, you had a slam dunk one.
That was an easy one.
I'm going to go... Can I go Johnny Football here?
Yeah, you can go Johnny.
Johnny
Football,
Manziel?
yeah.
Like, I mean, the guy... You know, I've heard some crazy stuff about Johnny Manziel. Like, the guy is... One, he still, like, will tweet just crazy stuff out there.
Oh, absolutely crazy stuff.
I've heard he's one of the biggest partiers, like, ever. Like, he's still all about the party life. I don't know what he does now. I know that his parents are pretty rich, so maybe he's just doing that. Living, I don't know. Like, but I mean, the guy was like a crazy guy in college, but he was fun to watch. He came to the NFL, complete bust. Like, just, he's kind of like that guy who I feel like he just didn't work hard, didn't care.
Do we think if he would have... And that's the thing.
The Browns organization didn't help him. Like,
yeah, they aren't good at that. But it's like if he would have done some things different, like I don't party. I don't come from a partying background or lifestyle. But like when you're that type of guy, is there like that regret of like, what if I didn't party so hard? Would I have been better? You know what I'm saying? I think the answer is yes, but we don't know. But it'd been nice if he would have tried that for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Instead, we don't really know, because I actually thought Johnny Football was going to be good in the NFL. But
yeah, I just think the guy is I don't disagree with you. I thought he'd be good too, but man, the guy played fan-controlled football a year ago. Like, that's what he was doing a year ago. The guy who was like one of the best quarterbacks in college football played fan-controlled football. So I don't know. I think Johnny Football is another guy where like you either hated him or you loved him when he was in college. And he definitely did some crazy stuff. I think he's still doing a lot of crazy stuff out there. So,
okay. All right, well, I'm up here. I'm going to go with Dennis Rodman. From his weekend getaway in the middle of the season to Las Vegas, like in just the middle of the season, leaving, hanging out with Kim Jong-un, whatever, Like, Dennis Rodman's wild from his hairstyles to whatever, but I got Dennis Rodman. I don't know if anyone... But I will say Dennis Rodman, though, was one of the hardest workers, I think. Like, he gave it his all, like Energizer Bunny type guy, but kind of a diva, I would say.
So there's like a story, I was just reading this about like the 1 year he was with the Lakers, they cut him mid-season. And the guy was averaging like 15 rebounds a game and like 8 points. The guy would show up late. He wouldn't go to shoot around. Like, he would show up like 10 minutes before they're supposed to be out on the floor, change. And it's just like, just a classic diva. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Seth, who do you got?
I have Alex Rodriguez. And I feel like that guy, maybe a lot of people probably don't like him because of the whole PED scandal that he took, that he has a lot of home runs. I think it's in the 600s, high 690s or something like that. But also just like even recently, he's been a big sports commentator, especially baseball. And even just like how many women has that guy been with? Like, I feel like that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, that definitely deserves
and it's like famous women too, It's like going from the next one, and it's all in a span of like 2 years.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Like, he's on my list of like guys I could potentially choose, And again, I don't know if he has that diva lifestyle. Maybe not diva lifestyle. Maybe if he doesn't go to the Yankees, maybe we don't think of him as a diva. If he stays at the Texas Rangers...
The Yankees are diva, though.
The Yankees are diva. You could throw a whole organization in as a diva. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We could say New York Yankees. We could say Dallas Cowboys. We could say L.A. Lakers. We could probably say L.A. Dodgers. We could probably say USC, Notre Dame. I don't think I'd say Alabama. Would you say Alabama's, if you had a conference? We could throw Texas in there. The Longhorns as divas. You know what I'm saying? So maybe even Oklahoma, But that's just kind of what I've thought. What about the guy at Ohio State who wore the Apple Watch while he was playing football, that wide receiver? Do you see that? Is that diva-worthy?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe he just wants to check his heart rate. I don't know. But, all right, you're up, Jordan.
I'm going to go with another guy who has made a lot of headlines in the last 2 years. I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving, and it's not just for, the guy forced his way out of Cleveland because he didn't want to play with LeBron James anymore, who's probably the second best player in NBA history, and then went to Boston, and just that was a total mess.
That was
asked out of Boston, signs with the Brooklyn Nets, then, and then it's like, okay, I actually kind of, we don't need to get into the vaccine stuff here. You either like him or you don't like him for that. But the reality is he didn't play with his team for a whole year. And then, which, again, some people may appreciate what he did. We don't need to get into that here. But, then he comes back, and then, he's sucks in the playoffs, for lack of better words. He was not good. He acted like he did not care. Then he asked for a trade, but somehow still in the Brooklyn Nets. And on top of that, the guy thinks the Earth is flat. Yeah. So I just, and
who's a bigger diva, Kyrie Irving or James Harden?
Oh, it's Kyrie.
It's Kyrie. Okay.
Anyone who thinks the Earth is flat is definitely a diva.
Yeah.
This room looks flat though.
I guess the Earth's
Trent,
flat.
are you a flat earther?
I'm not a flat earther. I'm a flat footer, though. My feet are very flat for what it's worth.
I think that's called gravity.
Okay. All right. So I'm Seth. Oh, I'm up, right?
Yeah, you're third around here.
Seth, sorry, I wrote this down. You did A-Rod, Seth. This is my last pick. I think everyone would agree with this. I'm going Megan Rapinoe. Diva right there. Do I have
I think that might hit your target audience.
Do I have
Trent?
to say anything else though?
I don't think you have to
made a
explain.
bunch of listeners mad. She's annoying. No one from Subway commercials or whatever. No one likes Megan Rapinoe.
I was not expecting Megan Rapinoe to come.
That one came out of nowhere.
Megan Rapinoe is yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's a great soccer player.
Yeah, there might be some people that are probably not listening to our podcast though.
Yeah, maybe so. So yeah, I don't think I need to. See
Well, I'm
anything
sorry
else.
you hurt their feelings, Trent.
Okay, go ahead, Seth. Who do you got?
All right, with my last pick, I am a fan of this guy, but I
We
will
have to
say
represent women's sports.
he is
guys.
this guy is very, I would say his standards are very high, and he always posts pictures, with very expensive things, is Conor McGregor.
Oh, I was
Oh,
going to say
that's a
Conor
good one.
McGregor.
So, I feel like that
So
maybe
good.
should have went in the first round, but I kind of saw it later, and I didn't want to pick him because he was like, I'm actually a fan of him.
I thought he was going to I was going to take him, and I thought no one else would take him, so.
Yeah, I mean, you see this guy, like, he always posts pictures of his, that crazy yacht he has. That one's insane, or he's posing in his underwear, flexing.
Well, take it off your screensaver then.
No, but
The worst part,
but like he is a diva though. Like he really hasn't won a fight in a long time, and like I would say, like when he was good, like he was one of the best fighters in the UFC, and now he's just kind of old and he hasn't won a
still
fight in
thinks
a
he's
while.
the best.
And like he still thinks he's the best, but it's also part of like the branding he plays.
The worst part about Conor McGregor, I think the biggest thing, the guy has said he's going to retire like 10 times. And then he keeps coming back.
It's
Yeah,
just
because
a
it gets-
it's just a money grab. I thought
Yeah.
about Floyd Mayweather,
Floyd Mayweather's
you know,
up
that's
there.
a-
Those,
I mean-
those two fought. That's like two divas really going at it.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean even his fights he fights in the UFC, like his even the fights that are just bouts are just like they're expensive fights if Conor McGregor's fighting, and it's
Yeah.
not even for a belt.
Yeah.
You're paying the most money for that UFC match.
No, that's a good one. McGregor. I like the little walk he does, though. That's kind of cool. Marketing genius, really.
Oh, really? Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up with I would not have guessed that our last round of this would be two soccer players and a UFC fighter, but this is where we are. This is where we've come to. I'm going Ronaldo. Like
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is probably like
I don't know who that is.
Oh my goodness.
Ronaldo's like, in my opinion, the second best of like the last 15, 20 years to Lionel Messi. But like Ronaldo's he is the epitome of a diva. Like honestly, he could probably go number one. Like if you just pull across the world, like global, it's probably Ronaldo. Like the guy is like
Probably
McGregor, where he needs to be dressed all fancy, the picture perfect look. Like always taking pictures, you always see pictures with his shirt off. He makes a point of always taking his shirt off in the games. Like he's that guy. And then he's also like a sore loser, doesn't get his way. He doesn't like it. He's forced his way. He was with, he played with, I'm blanking on, it was Barcelona. He played with Barcelona, right? Or no, he played with, Real Madrid
Yes.
Real Madrid for a very long time.
I'm saying yes. I really
No,
don't know.
it's Real Madrid.
Okay. Yeah,
He
it
was
was
Real
Madrid.
Madrid for years. And then, I mean, since then, he's played with, like, Juventus. And then he played with, now he's on Manchester. He's back at Manchester United. He's forced his way out of a few different teams. And it is a disaster right now in Man U. He doesn't even play. Like, he's got coaches fired. Like, it's a mess. He's a poor sport. He's not a good teammate. He is an amazing soccer player.
Another guy we could add is like Jamie Tart.
I thought this was real athletes.
He's a soccer player. That's one of the only soccer players I know for what it's
Yeah,
worth.
that doesn't even ring a bell in my head.
Well,
Maybe I'm too
because-
young for that.
No, you need to watch.
Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay.
That's I wouldn't know what soccer was if it wasn't for Ted Lasso, but they don't sport the pod, unfortunately.
Trent
moved-
loves kicking and screaming.
If Trent moved to
Mike Ditka's in it.
if Trent moved to London and had to coach his kid's soccer team, that's what it would be like. He'd
Oh,
be like
yeah.
Ted Lasso. He'd be cool in football.
Will Ferrell / Ted Lasso. Like getting everybody's names wrong, like Juice Box and stuff. That's Mike Ditka. We really could do a comedy movie draft here too. Some notable names we forgot: Terrell Owens.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm a Celtics fan, but I thought you
Paul
were going to say
Pierce.
Paul Pierce. He got hauled out in a wheelchair, then walked back into the game. That's worse than DK Metcalf. At least he had to use the restroom. Maybe Paul Pierce had to use the restroom and he just did that whole stunt. I don't know.
If he stood up, it was over.
Yeah.
There's definitely like some old school ones. Like Wilt Chamberlain was a big diva, old school guy. Like
I have Tiger Woods on here on my
Yeah.
list. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Tiger Woods, he's a special place in my heart. So I
Cam
don't know.
Newton with all those hats. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
You could have said Russell
Yeah,
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
Yasiel Puig.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Yep.
I wish I said that one now.
Maybe Tom Brady. Maybe Jackson Mahomes. All right. Well, hey, I think that about does it. If you enjoyed this show, shoot us a tweet on what divas we missed or just where we went wrong. We'll have a little vote on Twitter at TFF Dudes where you can vote for this draft. We will see you on Monday with our recap. As always, remember, don't be rude, take a dude. Don't be rude, tell a dude. Don't take anybody. And take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.